Imagine a world where correctional facilities operate without firm, fair, and consistent corrections. Chaos would reign, safety would be compromised, the justice would be undetermined. This is why we practice these principles, and it's negotiable. Study has shown that correctional facilities that adhere to firm, fair, and consistent corrections protocols have lower rates of recidivism. By installing a sense of accountability and responsibility, these facilities empower inmates to make positive changes in their lives. On that topic subject, there would be times that you would be at odds with an inmate and a group of inmates because you're enforcing the rules at the institution. You will feel pressure to abandon your position and go along with what inmates want order to avoid the conflict. During these times, remember that you're not trying to win a popularity contest. You're trying to win orderly dormitory. It's what you're doing. An orderly facility. That's what it means to be firm. When you be firm, when you tell the inmate something, you stand behind it. Just because they ask you 2-3 times don't mean you have to change your wording. It's very important to be firm, because if you're not firm with particular inmates and then you allow the other ones, there you go with your consistency. You just lost your consistency. Don't give in to the inmate in the attempt to get them over to popularity. If the laws and rules are on your side, be resolute and maintain your position. It's very important to maintain your position in corrections, because if you don't, you lose control and they lose respect for you too. There's a lot of reasons why you want to maintain the firmness. If the inmate feels like you're under pressure, you would retreat from your position and give to them. That is true. That is very true. I work with a lot of different OICs. I'm fortunate we have a lot at the compound where I'm at. I had an inmate EOS yesterday. I like to kick throat him. We got along we had a harsh start, but before he left, he apologized to my cohort of lieutenant that works with me. And he stated, when the other lieutenant asked him, when you came into the dormitory and we housed you, why did you act the way you did? He says, because throughout his incarceration, that he did this, and all the OICs retreated and gave him exactly what he was asking for. Now, we didn't do it. Now, we had to show him 2 or 3 days straight after we gained him from another institution, because he kept saying, you need to check my chart, you need to check my record. Well, he needs to check our record, because we're pretty firm on what we want, and we was firm on what we wanted from him, and he learned very quickly when our shift come on, he's not going to get what he wants. And in fact, other inmates feels the same way, because we have a lot of people that would retreat to these other inmates just so they don't have to deal with them, so they don't have. De-escalation is a key, but giving in to the rules is not the right key. It doesn't fit that law. De-escalation is good, but we're talking about being firm. Being firm and de-escalation is two different things. Being firm by the rules and doing what you're supposed to do in the rules, and don't bend the rules for them, that's one thing. De-escalating a situation because they don't want to mind, that's what we're talking about. It's okay to listen to the inmates' concerns, in some cases even compromise with them when possible, but you don't want to really compromise with them. Being firm, you need to do what you're supposed to do, make them follow the rules and everything else. But like you say, if you listen to them, sometimes there's some truth to the story of why they are showing out. But that's not called being firm. It's called not doing your job and giving them what they're supposed to have. But being firm, don't compromise it. When you say no, it means no. I don't care how many times they ask you, just don't deal with it. We're going to be consistent too and fair. The rules apply equally. Every inmate, regardless of race, education levels, physical. A lot of people say, don't look up their history while they're in prison. Lots of times we already know. Kind of stereotyping, but you don't want to look up their criminal activity if you're going to treat them differently. If you're one of the ones that are going to treat them differently, you don't need to be looking up what they're doing. The rules should apply equally. You often have inmates with different races and sizes, and and they're going to treat you differently and urge to favor the inmates or inmates with whom you have more common with. Well, you're going to find some inmates you are going to be common with, and it will cause conflict. And you don't want no conflict in a facility if you don't have it. Behind every statistics out there, life transforming, firm, fair, and consistent corrections not only maintain order within a correctional facility, but it also paves a way for redemption, rehabilitation. There's a lot of reasons why you want to be fair, firm, and fair. You want to be fair because you want to treat them all alike. You're not going to give one more food than the other, two trays. And if you're fair across the board, you will gain respect along the inmate population, and they know what to expect from you. And you want to be consistent. When you come in every day, you don't want to have a different routine every day. You want to be pretty consistent on how you do. Wishy-washy will get you in trouble. You don't want to be wishy-washy. If today I'm going to say I'm going to do something and I don't do it, and tomorrow I do something and I do it, and the next day you go back to the opposite ways, that don't work out very good because they don't know what to expect out of you. That's the same thing. If you come in there, you come in there with a bad attitude and you're yelling, cussing at them, raising sand, and the next day you're very nice to them and you want to listen to them, cater to them, not really cater to them, but counsel with them, because lots of times our job does come with counseling. You want a consistency. You want consistency. You want the kind of routine, not security check routine. That's different than your routine. You want to have a consistent flow of things, and you want your officers to be on the same boat that you're on. If you're on different boats, they're going to be sailing different ways, depending on where the waves is going to be flowing. If you're a sergeant, you want your officers on the same wavelength, same boat. If you're going to go and run your dormitory one way, you want them to follow you. You don't want them to go the opposite way because they'll be working against you. You don't want the officers to work against you, and you don't want your co-officer to work against you. You want to come in there and have a good, smooth workflow. That's where the fairness comes in, and consistency. When you're consistent, that shows fairness, especially along everybody else, because they know what to expect out of you. The firmness is, if you start off lenient, especially with new officers, if you start off real lenient, it's hard to get strict. That's why we always tell officers when they first start up, majority of the time your answer is going to be no. It's not bad to say no and not give them something until you find out they can have it. If you're a new officer, you're not sure, wait until the next officer comes by you, your sergeant comes by you to check on you. Say, hey, by the way, inmate so-and-so asked if he could have so-and-so, but I told him no until I get the answer. There is nothing wrong with that. Once you learn your job, you will go along and then you learn what you can say yes and no to. And when you get confidence, what they can and can't have. Let's smash that subscribe button. Smash it hard.